Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Checking my mic. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Leslie. If you're new, you're in my kitchen down on the farm, and I am thrilled to have you with us. Hey, listen, today's going to be a little bit different. We are having a family dinner tonight. We are going to have oven fried chicken. We're going to have cabbage, fried cabbage, and mashed potatoes. And then we're going to play a wonderful game, as well as we also have 3 desserts to choose from. We have the raspberry pie, a lemon pound cake, and a strawberry cake, a strawberry fluff cake. So, and you've probably already seen the desserts. I made them on 3 of my favorite spring and summer desserts. You've probably already seen that video. But I'm just going to bring you along for my preparation of supper tonight. It is delicious and wonderful. Probably going to title this video Oven Fried Chicken because I think I've only done that one other time on my channel, but it is a staple here and we love it. But first, I got to get the tea going. So how I do tea is I do a pot of water on the stove and 3 tea bags in my water, and bring it to, I don't like to boil it, only, not because I don't put sugar in it. So it's like when you put sugar in it sometimes, I put sugar in my tea. I don't put it in at this process. And sometimes when you boil it, it gets almost a bitter taste. But the reason I don't boil it is sometimes the tea bags bust if I boil it. So I'm just going to, if it boils a little bit, I'm totally fine with that. I just don't like a hard boil and it busts my bag. So, and then I let it sit as long as I can and steep. That's what we call steep. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to peel some potatoes. Go ahead and get them done. I'm going to get everything kind of prepped and ready. So tonight, when it's time for supper, all I have to do is cook it and get it going. So, yeah. All right, let's peel some potatoes while the tea is coming to a boil. All right, so the tea is now steeping, it's boiled, and now what I'm doing is I'm just peeling potatoes. I'm going to get them peeled. Brunt just called and says, hey, what have you got this afternoon? And I said, I'm cooking supper for the whole family. He says, but when do you need to get started? And I said, well, I would like to be here at 4 just so I'm not scrambling at the last minute. And he says, well, good. I'll have you home at 4. Get ready. I'm coming to get you. And he wouldn't tell me where we're going. So I'm sure you've already figured it out because if you watch the weekend wrap up that I do on Sundays, it's probably on there. But I'm just peeling these potatoes and I'm going to slice them up and get them in some water so they'll be ready. All I'll have to do is stick some salt in them and turn them on when I get home. Then drain them, then stick a whole bunch of butter in them and mix them up. So, all right, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm just getting kind of some head start on things. And I'll see you back in just a little bit. Okay, so we are home. Let me see if, yep, my light's on. I am going to, Bryant has taken the chicken breast and they're really big and thick. So he sliced them in half.
Sliced them.
In half.
See ya.
So we are going to get.
I got a quick question.
He has a question.
Where's the M&Ms?
Right back there.
She hogs the M&Ms.
Right back there. We are going to. I have 2 Pyrex dishes, and so I'm going to stick a stick of butter in each of them. In fact, my other one's a little big. I may put a little extra butter in that one. And I'm actually going to leave a stick of butter out for my mashed potatoes too. So we'll set it out so it can kind of get softening up. I'm going to put, this is a 9 by 13. I'm going to stick 1 stick of butter in it. And we'll stick it in the oven as the oven preheats and just let it melt down in this dish. And I'm actually going to use a stick and a half in this other dish. So I have to get out another stick of butter. We'll use the rest of that for our biscuits. I have biscuits. Okay. So let's come over here. I don't know what size this one is. I just know it's bigger than a 9 by 13. And I'm going to stick a stick and a half of butter in that. And then we're going to get to seasoning our chicken. I'm just going to salt and pepper the chicken. And then over here behind me, I have the self-rising flour out. All right, so I'm going to stick those in the oven in just a minute. I'm not quite ready yet, but let's get this flour seasoned up. I'm going to salt and pepper the actual chicken breast, and then we're going to season up the flour. Self-rising flour already has a little bit of salt in it, so I'm going to add in some just ranch, dry ranch dressing mix. We're just going to mix that in that flour. And I'm going to add in a little bit of paprika. And the paprika is mainly just for color. I mean, it gives it a flavor too, but I just like my chicken to be nice and brown and all right, so I'm going to do just a little bit more now that I've mixed it in. And do a little bit more of both. I think that's it on the paprika. Let's see, did I, yeah, it's about gone. About did the paprika in. All right. So now we have our flour ready. I'm going to go ahead and just stop right here for right now. I'm going to turn the potatoes on and get those salted. And I'm going to get my frying pan out for my cabbage. And just kind of get things set up and ready. And we'll be back in just a second. So I salt and peppered them on the other side. And I've now laid them in the flour. So I'm just going to salt and pepper them again on this side. And as soon as the the butter comes out melted, we will start layering these in the hot butter. This is going to be such a delicious meal. I am super duper excited. And I'm going to lay out one more stick of butter. I forgot we need a little bit of butter for our cabbage. And I'm going to start showing you that in just a second. All right. All right, right here in this frying pan here, I have 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add, a little bit of oil to that. And this is going to be for our cabbage. I'm going to get this melting down. I chopped up, and when I say chopped up, just into bite-sized pieces, the cabbage before I left the house a while ago. So we're going to get this melting down. And I'm actually going to go ahead and get my cabbage done and then just cut it off, and then we can heat it back up. That way it's done and over with. So, all right, I'm going to get that to melting. I'll bring you back when we put the cabbage in. I'm just going to salt and pepper it. Add maybe just a little bit of water and possibly some chicken bouillon granules. We'll see. But I think I'm just going to do it plain tonight. Just salt and pepper and the butter and oil. So we're going to let that melt. I'll bring you back in just a second. So we're going to move back over here. I've just turned the oil off and the butter off on the cabbage. And we're going to get this chicken going. And so it's pretty lightly coated on this oven fried chicken. And you just put it down in that butter. The oven is preheated somewhere between 375 and 400. Anywhere in there, it's 375, that's perfect. I'm gonna try to, ooh, I splattered. I'm gonna try to get 4 in this one. We may have to get out another pan, I'm not sure. These were such big breasts, and he's cut them in half, but they're still pretty thick and big, so I'm gonna scooch. I don't necessarily like to crowd them. All right. Gonna touch raw. Gonna have to wash these salt and pepper shakers. All right. All right. So this one can get in the oven. I'm gonna get the other pan out, and I'll do the same thing to them. We'll get them in. I'd say I've got it set probably on 385, but 375 is fine. So, and they're going to stay in there for about 35 minutes. Then we're going to flip them. Once we flip them, we'll put them back in for another 30 minutes, and then we will have delicious oven fried chicken. So I cleaned my workstation off and my salt and pepper shakers. I've cleaned them off. So let's get back over here to the cabbage and just go ahead and get it done, and then we can put the lid on it, and then we can just heat it up when everybody gets here. So I have melted the butter and oil. And the reason you do both is the butter for flavor, the oil to raise the smoke point. It won't burn as fast as butter will. So when you add that oil, it raises that burn level. And I'm just pulling these apart that I've already cut up into fairly bite-sized pieces. And if they're big pieces, we just tear them and keep going. All right, let me get all these in here. I'll bring you back when we salt and pepper, and then we'll add a little bit of liquid. This is not steamed cabbage. We are actually going to fry this cabbage. And you don't want to necessarily steam it. Stew it. You want to kind of just put a little liquid in here to cause some steam just to help it soften. So the first thing I'm going to do once I get everything in here is be sure everything is coated with that oil and butter, or as much as it can be. It'll be hard to get every piece coated, but we'll do the best we can. Turn my burner down. All right. Just going to finish it off right here. This was I would say one medium head of cabbage. All right. Whoops. Man overboard. We're going to put a little salt. And I like pepper in my cabbage. So I pepper it really good. All right. So I'm going to kind of get us something to stir this around. Move it around. Be sure that oil is coating everything. Okay, and all I do is just take tongs or a spatula or something, and I just kind of flip it around. That's also getting your salt mixed up. But once we add some liquid, that'll do the major part. So, all right, I'm going to turn the burner back up just a little bit, and we're going to let this kind of get brown. and then we'll move it around a few times. Then we'll add a little liquid, put the lid on. And when I say a little liquid, I mean just a half a cup to a cup, not a lot. This is not boiled cabbage. This is not necessarily stewed cabbage. We call this fried cabbage. And then we just steam it just a little bit to get it to wilt down. So, okay. All right. So that's it for the cabbage right now. I'll bring you back when we add the liquid. Okay, everybody, let's come over here and look at the cabbage. I actually have not put any liquid in here, and I don't think we're going to need to. But do you see those brown bits? Oh, that's what's so good. And I don't think we're going to need to add any liquid at all. This has melted down or softened down enough. I think it's plenty, and I think this is going to be absolutely perfect. But those little brown bits, that's what's so good. All right, I just wanted to show you the cabbage. So we're about ready. I've already flipped the chicken the first time, and so just a few more minutes and it'll be coming out. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, everybody, I've got this batch out of the oven. This one's stuck. Sometimes they stick, but look at these. They are so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The other pack I'm leaving in there for just a little bit. This one's stuck just a little bit. That's okay. All right, so we're going to leave the other ones in there. I'll put the biscuits in, and we'll get ready to make the potatoes in just a little bit. All right, Judah, what did you grow in your garden?
A radish.
A radish?
And I'm about to taste it.
And you're about to taste it. Have you ever tried a radish before?
No.
All right.
Spicy.
Uncle Isaac's slicing it up for you.
Can I try one?
You try one.
Is it hot? It's cold.
Under pressure.
What do you think, Levi? Not good.
Hot.
Yep. Judah just said hot. All right, Brian's making our potatoes.
Whole stick of butter.
Whole stick of butter.
I take my beaters and do a little pre-mashing.
This is his first time using the hand mixer. Let me get the milk out. Okay, everyone, here's the fried chicken, the oven fried chicken, the mashed potatoes, and down here we have our fried cabbage.
Yeah, I already checked that.
You've already checked that? So I just need to get spoons and a fork for serving, and everybody needs to fix their drink and the biscuits, and the biscuits will come out and we'll be ready to eat. Hey everyone, so our supper was absolutely amazing. After supper, the kids cleaned up a little bit, and then we had a family game night. Now, the game we played was You Laugh, You're Out. And we had so much fun. And if anybody enjoyed that game, let me tell you, Judah Bug loved it. Little Judah Bug had the best time playing that game, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed. But I filmed just a little. It tells you, what you do is you pick a card, and it tells you something silly and crazy to do. And your hopes is that somebody will laugh. And if you're the audience, you don't want to laugh. So I filmed Bryant doing his little part one time through. And he's the only one I filmed, but it was kind of funny. So hang tight. I'll show you that, and then we'll come back and say goodbye.
You lose.
So y'all, that game was so much fun. It really got you out of your comfort zone. And it was probably the hardest for Isaac to play because he just does not put himself out there. And it was so funny. He actually participated, which I was super proud of. And, but it was just fun. We all had to do something silly. It was wonderful. And Judah, like I said, I wish I'd have got a video of him. He just couldn't hardly breathe. He was laughing so hard. So, okay, I'm going to end this video here. This is how we do family dinner. It was quick, easy, and, yeah, so it's delicious. All right, thank you guys for joining us. Remember, the grease is hot enough. You can fry anything. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.